So guys, report has it that Sowore has been rearrested by the Nigerian police. Like you can see from this headline, it says more than 50 police officers violently attacked him. That is Omoyole Sowore, and took him again by force. DG says Sowore was rearrested by more than 50 police officers shortly after being granted bail, with the officers allegedly refusing to present the remand order. So guys, you can see what is happening in this country. The police is now overriding the decision of the court to let Sowore go. Immediately he was released, they came back to pick him up. That tells you that we are living in a country where there is no rule of law. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this. People are saying that if Tinubu can be doing this in first term, you can imagine what will happen should Tinubu come back to power for second term. Now take a look at what Deji said.
Sowore has been granted bail. However, while we were conferring with him just here, with all the team of his lawyers and supporters, he was violently attacked by the police. More than 50 police officers violently attacked him and took him again by force. You know, we do not know where they are taking him to. They claim the officer who initiated the attack claimed that he had gotten the remand order. He flashed the remand order to us, but we insisted on seeing and reviewing the details. But he refused and put it back in his pocket, and the next thing he said that they must go. We said, where are you taking him to? He said they are taking him to Kuje prison. But we said we needed to see the place of the remand as inserted by the court, but he refused to show us the order. An argument ensued. He said because Sowore called the IG useless, that they must deal with Sowore. All of them started dragging Sowore and attacking him violently. They even tore his shirt in the process. You know, so that is the update currently. We're in the process of trying to perfect the condition for bail. So that is
it. People were brought to court because they said they protested against a court order. We were still challenging the propriety of even the arraignment on the ground that you said people violated court order by protesting. We never heard of a constitution in this country, even despite all its defects, designating places where people should protest. If a protest is illegal, it is illegal. If it is not illegal, it is not illegal. You cannot say people can protest in that street, but they cannot protest in this street. And you are so confident that that will be justified. But today, the police were disappointed in judiciary. They have been masquerading themselves as law enforcers. They have been blackmailing the defendants that they protested against a court order. But what we witness in court today is a direct opposite of the propaganda they were selling to the public. Majority of us have already fallen into that propaganda. Majority of us are already accusing the defendants. Why did they protest when there is a court order? But what we saw here today was that the magistrate courageously granted bail. That is an order of court. He gave a very liberal bail conditions. He said there should be 2 shorties worth 500,000 with tax clearance and means of identification. The police were so disappointed, and I even heard that some of the people in Mufti here, they are senior police officers. They came to monitor the proceeding with about more than 50 police officers in this court. There were 2 roadblocks in the morning. The entire premises was condoned off. At the end of the day, when they saw that the bail perfection was in process, CSP Iliasu led brigade of police officers to come attack us together with all other lawyers and innocent people who were just in court premises to say they are good. The woman selling food here was manhandled. The table was destroyed. The food was destroyed. Sowore was bundled violently. People were holding his hand. People were holding his leg into that vehicle. In the course of that, some of us who ask questions, where are you taking him? In fact, CSP Iliasu brought a paper, which he called remand order. And we asked him to show us that remand order. He refused to show us. We asked him if you are taking Sowore to prison custody, on what ground can you do that? If he's not able to perfect the bail condition. And if he's not able to do that, and you are taking him, where are the prison officials? The prison officials will be here. Why must it be police? Why must it be you? In the course of that, they descended on everybody. I was injured. I was blood stained in my bib. This is my bib. We were manhandled, and Sowore's clothes was torn. And they forced him into their vehicle, and they took him away. As we speak, we don't know where he is, but we are still trying to follow up on the bail perfection. If you perfect the bail today, then we want the police to justify why, whatever reason they have, to keep him. This is illegality. This is injury. Yes, this is my injury. This is 10. This is blood stain on my bib. CSP Iliasu led there more than 50 officers. People were, in fact, a lawyer was here in another matter entirely. He was arrested, people were arrested, people were trying to cover it with their phone. Individuals who have cases in court were abducted as we speak. We don't know where they are. And that is what the police institution have done today. They talk about court order. There's a court order now. They are like people are not respecting court order. But today they have come here to not just to violate court order, but to violate the sanctity of these premises. It's an embarrassment. And we call on the Attorney General. Because we know this is about Nigeria state. We call on the Attorney General. If the Inspector General of Police will not see reason, where they will not be reasonable, in the face of any personal grievances they may have against or anybody, we call on the Attorney General to let sanity prevail. We call on the Nigeria Bar Association. They have come to destroy the sanctity of court. Police officers, they have come to violently the court sittings were interrupted. And this is a public outrage. Everybody here today is disappointed because it is unexpected. We felt police have followed the law. If the magistrate had denied bail today, that would be a justification. If the magistrate had granted bail and the defendant are not able to meet up, that would be a justification. But this thing happened around to 11 when the court had granted bail in this city. That's what witness we got today. That's what witness. We call for the release of Sowore. That is very, very important. We call for his release. We call for his release. We call on the Nigerian Bar Association too to rise up. We cannot continue to watch things happen like this. Otherwise, people will lose faith in judiciary. People will lose faith in court process. Thank you. I'm done.
Hold on.
Yes, sir. Thank you
very much. Don't worry, we're together.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I'm not going anywhere. They are a bunch of thugs. That's what
Bunch of talk. Good luck.
That's what they are. And if Nigerian law enforcement is going to be driven by thugs, the stuff was unnecessary. I was telling the guy in white, I said, talk to his lawyer.
That is Elias.
Why are you dragging him for? Talk to his lawyer. No, you have to drag him.
That is CSP
They broke everything all over this place for what?
The OC anti-vice, FCTC ID. That is the person who led the Togri and brigandage today.
You know, it's terrible. You can't do that.
Yes, good afternoon, Barrister.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, I want to bring you up to speed with what transpired at the courts some moments ago.
All right, thank you very much. Well, let me start from when we drove into this area of Kuje. There was a barrage of police officers with heavy trucks, with pickups, with hillocks, mounted all over the environment, blockading the courts, the access to the court. And only lawyers were allowed to come in. Then we approached court, and the matter of Sowore and 13 others, including our lawyer Jimako, Okere, Kingdom, and others were called up. We applied after the FIR was read to them. We applied for their bail. The court was gracious enough to grant them bail on very liberal terms. Now, having granted bail, the correctional officers moved some of the detainees back to Kuje prison, whereas Sowore was allowed to remain behind so as to fulfill his bail condition because his shorty was already on ground. While the shorty was fulfilling the bail condition, a policeman came around claiming that he has a remand order. Sowore was sitting under this mango tree here, claiming he has a remand order to detain Sowore. And Sowore was like, show me the order you have. He brought out a piece of paper, flashed it. Sowore said, wait, let me read it. Let me be sure it relates to me. The policeman squeezed the paper, put it in his pocket, and said Sowore should move. Sowore said he can't go anywhere unless he sees the remand order. While they were still talking, the next thing, all the policemen in the environment, more than 100 of them, came into this court compound, surrounded this mango tree where we were all sitting. And the next thing is, they grabbed Sowore by the neck. Some were holding his shirt, some were holding his leg. You know, they were rough handling him. They pushed him until they crashed into this woman's food shop. I don't know what to call it, where he sells food. This is his table. Okay, let me show you. That's the woman's table. They broke it, fell her way, scattered everything. The woman is there. They destroyed her properties for no just cause. Sowore was not resisting going. He said, show me the order you claim that you have, and I will follow you. But the man did not show the order. He just flashed a piece of paper like this so that you can't read it, and then squeezed it and put it in his pocket, and they all bundled him into their vehicle. One of the lawyer, Tope, was injured. If you check his hand, he's injured. Blood was coming out. His bib, this white thing we wear on the neck, was stained with blood. All of us, we ran away. And then the funny thing is that there was a guy who was a lawyer. He was making a call here. They say he was filming them. They also bundled him into their vehicle and left. And they refused anybody from bringing out their phones. If they saw you with phone, they grab you and throw you into their vehicle. So I want to find out really from Nigeria and from the Inspector General of Police. Did you give your men order to arrest people who video them in when they are arresting people? If you are doing a good work, shouldn't you want to advertise it so that people know, oh, I'm doing a good work? Why are you scared of being videoed? Why are you doing your things in secret? Sowore said that you are a retired police officer. You are not qualified to be Inspector General. Sort it out with him in court. Why send your men to brutalize him whenever he raises that issue outside? Why do you send your men to brutalize? Because that is the essence of that brutality you saw. It was as if there's something personal between the police officers and Sowore. I don't think it was just because there's a remand order. I think there's something deep personal, and they really want to show him that they can deal with him anyhow and anywhere. That's what I saw here. Thank you.
So let's start with your phone name. No,
okay, my phone name now. Ogugu Iwelu is my name.
Okay, yes, sir. Can you tell us what transpired?
So I came in here. At that point, Sowore was sitting right there, and with his lawyers and a few people, they were standing right behind. And you know, all of a sudden, some guy shows up with a white kaftan, and he had a white hat on, and another guy had a brown kaftan on, and he just said, "Oh, something like." I guess he had to cut some kind of remand order or something like that. And then they said, show us the order. The man had it in his pocket. He said, no. First of all, he came and said, no filming me here. Everybody shut your camera down. As he was talking, his militarized police were all over the place. He said, anybody film here, we'll go arrest him. I think they took somebody in the back. I wasn't privy to that. But, you know, and then they said, show us the court order. He had the thing in his pocket. He's like, see, I'm here, see, I'm here. The lawyer said, let us see what do you want to take him to? And all of a sudden, boom, they just bundled him, run him over this woman's table. Just so total toggery, unnecessary. These are police officers. Is that how you run the show? Nah, if that's how you run the show, you're not running the show. Let's be very clear. And you know, and this country is too big for that. You know what I mean? So they were very, very unruly, and I think there was some personal vendetta. And I noticed something also. The guy in the brown had a little conversation with Sowore, where Sowore said to him, I don't know the guy's name. He said to him, you've been doing this since yesterday. This is personal to you. And the guy was saying, you will see today. So if anything happens to Sowore, I'm going to pinpoint that guy. I'm very concerned about. Yeah.
Because of the kind of chaotic way that the Nigerian police force conducted themselves in these premises today. So this is an abuse of the powers of the police. And then it was not only Mr. Sowore that was affected in this chaos that the police demonstrated here today. Lawyers were affected. Lawyers were injured. Lawyers were arrested. Ordinary Nigerians who wanted to capture the experience of what was happening today were arrested and bundled out of this place simply for videoing the situation with their phone. People who were trading were beaten and their goods were destroyed in these premises today. Lawyers who came to represent a lawyer who came to represent the client here today was arrested because he was calling his client and said, okay, court is now sitting. Where are you now? They bundled him away that nobody should use phone because the police were in the premises and they were afraid of being videoed or being captured on tape because of the manner they were conducting themselves. So it is the highest level of, there are a lot of issues, but most importantly, the ordinary Nigerians who were affected here today, the journalists who were affected here today must report this. Many journalists were affected. I don't know. Let us report this in March. Yes, we don't even know the lawyer. We are trying to look for the client who he came to represent, but he has been arrested and bundled out of this place today. So it's a shameful situation. It's unfortunate. It's an abuse of power, and it is not something that we expect that Nigerians should continue to condone, because they brought Mr. Sowore here on the purported allegation that Mr. Sowore has flaunted and violated court order. Meanwhile, they have flaunted and violated the court order granting Mr. Sowore bail here because they did not allow him the opportunity to perfect his bail. If you grant somebody bail and you give the person condition, bring a shorty. It is for me to now call somebody that I know meets the bail condition to come and shorty me. They have not even given him the opportunity to call anybody or to discuss with anybody to come and stand shorty for him. But we are working on all that procedure as it is now.
Your full name?
AK Musa is my name.
So guys, you can see that Nigerians are in trouble considering the kind of leaders that we have. There's nothing like democracy in this country, you know. We just have democracy in pretense, but as for the reality on ground, there's nothing like democracy. You can imagine somebody who went to protest, just peaceful protest, just creating awareness and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be let go. If bandits are being let go, why not just allow Kanu to be? Now, they ended up saying that he crossed their boundary and arrested him. Finally, the court has looked into it and said, okay, this man is not supposed to be held. Let him go alongside others that were equally arrested. The Nigerian police again headed back again just to pick him up. People have been saying that this is just because of a personal vendetta. It has nothing to do with Sowore breaching the law. You know, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that they understand that Sowore is the man of the people, and that many people are now supporting what Sowore is doing, especially since he came out to do this protest of Nnamdi Kanu. So they don't have any other thing to do if not to see how they can stop him. And you know that the IG of police and Sowore have been having this buzz going on, and possibly they just felt, okay, this is the right time to pay Sowore back for all that he has been doing to the IG of police. And for them, they feel, okay, if we can just hold him and, you know, detain him. You can imagine granting somebody bail, and the next moment he's rearrested, so he'll be granted bail again. That's how they are trying to make money, or what? I don't know, making money. So there won't be protests again in this country. That's what Nigerians should be bothered about. Because, see, from the look of things, these people just want to shut the people up. They don't want anything like protest. They don't want Nigerians to speak up. They don't just want anything that, you know, will just expose the kind of country we are in today. So, guys, this is really wrong to see that just a peaceful protest has ended up turning out to become something unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Nigerians can't believe what they are seeing under the Tinubu's government, that you just came out to protest. Now it's like a taboo for people to protest. We won't just keep wondering what kind of nation are we building for ourselves, you know, if we cannot be allowed to air our view. This is a country where elections are not working. Now, for you to come out to air your view is now another crime. I don't know what you make of all these things happening in Nigeria. And that's why it baffles me when I see some of Nigerian youths trying to support this government. Are you supporting a government that is trying to buy you? Are you supporting a government that does not understand what democracy is all about? Are you supporting a government that does not care about the suffering of the people? That Sowore came out to voice on Nnamdi Kanu. Is his detention not long overdue? Is his being released not long overdue? That is why Nigerians are saying this is wrong. And now the protest has ended up becoming something that they are now using to it kind of threatened Sowore, making him to feel he has no right to protest. Anyway, thank God it was Sowore that they finally picked again. I think the other people who were released were not picked up again. Sowore was the one that was picked up. So possibly this is because of the vendetta, you know. It kind of, the IGP is just trying to pay him back for all the period he has been calling him illegal IGP, because that's what people have been saying. That this one is just them trying to say, okay, Sowore, we've been waiting for, we've been setting our trap, and today it has caught you. I think that's just it. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to allow you share your thoughts in the comment section below. Just take your time and share your thoughts and let me know what you think about the kind of government we are into. Don't forget that Tinubu is having first term. If he can be behaving like this, can imagine if he mistakenly come back as second term president, what is going to happen to Nigerians? It's really, really so sad. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.